to Care for a Loved One, a show that cares about you and supports and encourages you, the caregiver. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Caregiver Hour radio show. What a beautiful day it is. What a great way to start a Monday, start a week, being here at the radio show. I just love it. I feel like I'm in my zone. I'm aligned with my purpose in life, and being here on this show, speaking to so many caregivers and connecting with them. And you can always connect with us. There's so many different ways, but we'll just make it really easy for you this morning. You can call us toll free at 1-877-897-8255 while the show is live. And you can always connect with us on our website, thecaregiverhour.com. There are so many ways to connect with us on there. And we have a lot of new things happening to help caregivers feel empowered and create balance in their lives. And one of them is our beautiful website that we will be, that we're fine tuning and is actually live, but we're kind of still working on it. Just like everything else, it's a process, but it's beautiful. Great big pictures of caregivers so that it feels like when you go on that website that it's like that looks like me, or I can relate to that. And that's exactly what we wanted to pursue. And it's all types of caregiving. So it's people of all different ages and all different circumstances. So, it's kind of like I started with just seniors and it's just expanded. And as I've expanded, it's helped other people to expand as well. And I'm so happy that we're all together in this collaborative effort of really co-creating this radio show every week. And I'm very grateful to our sponsors and our guests and our producers here at Clear Channel, Gordon and Steve. And then I've got this great webmaster producer, John Gaston from Tampa Bay Multimedia. So there's a lot of things to be grateful for. And as we go into the new year, we wanted to kind of help you feel inspired, because often in caregiving we feel kind of, this is just so hard. How do I get through the next moment versus even how do I get through the next hour or the day? And actually, my husband and I are very actively caregiving in a long distance way for my sister-in-law who went to the hospital during the holidays. We were supposed to see her, and when my husband called her, she was incoherent. She didn't know where she was, what day it was, and I don't even know I'm supposed to be seeing you. So that kind of was that red flag that we all kind of got together, and her husband, Bill, is wonderful. So we are sending a lot of prayers out for Bill to support him and the family, but also Andrea, who's now sedated and incubated, and there's a lot of things that are happening with her medically. So, it's just started out with maybe a cold that went into bronchitis that went into pneumonia that was not detected because there were no symptoms. So if you're not feeling well, you definitely want to get yourself checked out. Even if you have to go to a clinic because it is holiday season and maybe your doctor's not in town, just go to a walk-in clinic and get checked out, or go to the emergency room. Because what happened was something could be so simple. She is a liver transplant recipient, so there's medications that happen for her, and it just somehow, we called it the perfect storm, where everything just kind of came together and fell apart for her. So we're trying to help get her back. She's in ICU in Philadelphia at a hospital, a great hospital. So just praying for all the doctors and nurses and staff that are taking care of her. And of course, my sister-in-law, who's really trying to heal. And so it can happen anytime, folks, and it can happen in any situation, and you do not have to be someone who's in their 70s, 80s, or even 20s or 30s. It could be any age. And that's why we're really looking at the Caregiver Resource Network being our new company name, because it encompasses really all types of caregivers. And seniors are my heart. That's just kind of where I started and what I love to do, and taking care of my in-laws helped me get on that journey. But it's just, I'm having a little bit of a tough day today, just knowing that she's not well. But I'm so happy to be here. And that's how I felt as I was driving in, how I was going to be with some wonderful guests today and surrounded with people who are really there for my highest good and who I really love spending time with. And then all the other relationships that I have my assistant Gail, who is working on something right now and not in the room, but I've got Gordon here in the house today, and Gordon Bird is our producer for the show every week, and I'm just very grateful. So, I'm telling you this because maybe you're in a spot this morning where you're not feeling so great, and we want you to feel inspired. And my guests are going to help me do this today. So we have Sue Talbot, and Sue Talbot has been with us here every month this whole year, and she's the Senior Care Consultant, Aging Wisely and Easy Living. And Joy Swisher, so many of you know her, and through Suncoast Hospice, but now she's on her own, and she's doing some wonderful things. And she's the owner at Intentional Threads, LLC. So we're just, we're here. We've known each other for a long time, and so it just feels very comfortable, like a nice, comfortable sweater that you put on a chilly day. That's how I feel. I feel surrounded with a lot of love. So again, our toll-free number here is 1-877-897-8255. And you can call us if you have any questions or comments. Maybe you want to talk to us about what inspires you. We were talking about the people that inspire us. Or it could be a song. Or it could be a movie. It could be a poem. It could be a bird. It could be a flower. It could be the beach. Like I was at the beach this weekend. And I just love being at the beach. And it was chilly in the water, but just be able to be there with the water. And my grandchildren are in town, and my son and daughter-in-law, and it was just great just to sit and watch them and have lunch at Honeymoon Island Beach and be able to just really be there with them and watch other families too. And I know what we did. We did something really cute. We did a message in a bottle where we got these kits by Susan Hom, Hom, who created these beautiful kits for children to experience putting a message in a bottle. And then my daughter-in-law, Tara, and I, we sealed it with wax, and we put crystals in and stones and shells from other visits to the beach, and we threw them out into the water. Now, there's not much of a tide, so they came right back, and this little girl found them, and we were like, what do we do now? This little girl just found those 2 bottles from Mason and Maddie. Do we let it alone, or do we talk to them? So I was the one who was asked to go speak to the other mothers, and I was like, excuse me, you have these bottles, but we just put them in the water. She said, I think they looked pretty new when I saw them. I said, if you opened it up, you would see it happened about a half an hour ago. So maybe we could, your husband is going out on that kayak. Do you think he could just throw them out there for us? And he did. What a sweet family. So thank you for that. And we'll see where those bottles end up. You put your little note, what your name is, where you're from, and then you put a dot where you're located, and then you go to the website and messageinaBottle.com, and you kind of be able to watch where your bottle goes. It was so sweet. So that was pretty inspirational for me. So I'm going to bring on very quickly Sue Talbot, who's going to be our first guest today, and then we'll come to Joy. And Sue, tell me, how are you doing? How were your holidays?
Wonderful, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. And so tell me how, what happened? Was there anything that happened that was kind of, like, oh my God, this is a great moment? Or was it just nice and relaxing?
It was a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. My girls were both here, so
Good.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, a little crazy, as it always is, but had a real nice, kind of changed things up a little bit, had a real nice dinner with my mom and dad on Christmas Eve, and so that was wonderful, and just a real relaxing Christmas day. So
That's good.
Yeah, it was just very spirit-filled, so that was neat.
Well, you got the glow still happening, and so maybe you could tell us something that inspires you.
Well, I think inspiration comes from so many different, it's like an onion, I think. It just sort of, you peel away, and then it speaks to you a little louder and speaks to you a little louder, and certainly all of us in this caregiving industry are inspired by just that passion of caring for others. And so many times you hear it in so many different places, but you can't be reminded of it often enough.
No.
that while it feels so good for somebody to do something nice for you, you just can't truly experience the joy in your soul until you pass it on to somebody else. And so I think by caregiving, we experience that every day.
We do. I met a woman recently who is going to be retiring from an insurance company, and she contacted me because we met each other very serendipitously. And she's like, "Your life has so much purpose. That's what I want, and I'm going to be retiring in March, and I want to find out what inspires me." And she has some ideas. So we're going to connect after the first of the year. But, we are very fortunate to find our passion and our purpose. So,
Absolutely.
And it can always change, and it can always expand and contract like how life does, because I know that Joy does a lot of different things too. So we're going to have everyone come back. We hope you will join us. Again, that toll-free number is 1-877-897-8255. And we've got Sue and Joy coming up talking about inspiration. And I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
Caregiving has gotten harder and more complicated, even as families have more and more demands on their time. That's why AARP is here to help caregivers with the tools, information, and support they need to care for their loved ones and themselves. Check out aarp.org/caregiving to connect with other caregivers like yourself and find the resources you need. Visit the AARP Caregiver Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Injured in a car accident or suffering from back and joint pain for a while? Clearly, you need to see a doctor. Call Dr. Ben, a chiropractor with 25 years experience. He listens, he cares, he gets results. His common sense approach? Coaching patients to be self-sufficient and less doctor-dependent. Let's face it, there are many things you can do to improve your health. Call Dr. Ben at 727-488-8044. Mention the Caregiver Hour radio show for a free examination. 727-488-8044. Dr. Ben, your coach to better health. 727-488-8044.
Sometimes I know what I want to say, but just can't find the words.
Last week I shouted at my grandson, and I'm not sure why.
I saw my daughter, but couldn't remember her name.
The sooner you recognize the warning signs of Alzheimer's disease, the sooner you can do something about it. To learn more, go to alz.org/10signs. That's alz.org/10signs. A message from the Alzheimer's Association.
Caregiving can be an overwhelming and stressful experience. Aston Gardens, Tampa Bay's premier senior living community, is excited to be able to support those who care for others. Please join them the third Thursdays of the month at 5:30 p.m. to learn creative problem-solving techniques and caregiving ideas from others who have been in your shoes. Aston Gardens specializes in independent living, assisted living, and memory care. Chosen for the third year in a row by the U.S. Commerce Association for the Best of Tampa Bay Award in residential care. Call 813-855-2811 or visit AstonGardens.com for more info.
Your home is where you feel relaxed, safe, and secure. Arcadia Home Care understands that you want to maintain that freedom and independence, even though you may be recuperating from an injury, illness, or simply require a little support with daily activities of living. You create a plan for your life as you envision it, and you can rest assured Arcadia will provide companionship, personal care, housekeeping, shopping, and errands, or whatever you need. They deliver their services with compassion, dependability, and professionalism. Their caregivers are screened, bonded, and insured, and must meet rigorous hiring standards, so you are confident you're receiving the best care possible for you or your loved one. Visit ArcadiaHomeCare.com or call St. Petersburg at 727-579-9414 or Tampa at 813-651-1300 to schedule your free in-home assessment and learn how Arcadia can enhance your quality of life while helping you stay at home and healthier longer. Arcadia Home Care, providing quality services since 1978.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hope you're having a nice morning. Had maybe something nice to eat and taking care of yourself. Maybe did some nice stretches. And you're feeling inspired. We're feeling inspired here at the Caregiver Hour radio show. And I'm so happy to have Sue Talbot, who is Senior Care Consultant at Aging Wisely and Easy Living with us today. And Sue, we were talking about being inspired. Can you tell us, what's happening for you? What makes you feel inspired? And then we want to talk about your Inspirational Caregiver Award recipient for this month.
Yes, Kim. It's so fun. This time of year, I think everybody's a little inspired. We're all coming off the holidays and looking forward to what's coming up in the future. And so I think really it's a matter of just kind of settling down and spending some time finding out what that is. What inspires you and where is that going to take you this year?
So did you do anything like that for yourself?
I'm like every other caregiver, Kim. I don't do that for myself. I just tell other people what the best thing to do is.
Oh, I see. So,
no.
okay.
Actually, it's funny. I was thinking about it on the way over, and I thought to myself, I think it's like anything else we try to start off in the new year. If you try to start eating better, you try to start spending more time exercising or spending some more time taking care of yourself as a caregiver. I thought, I think the way to do it would be to just start in small chunks.
Okay.
So let's say you say, okay, I'm going to start eating better. So you take that one sweet thing away, or I'm going to start exercising. Well, instead of going to the gym for an hour, you say I'm going to spend 10 minutes walking. So let's talk about then, taking care of ourselves because, caregivers, we tend to really kind of hog the martyr market and we really don't do a good job with that because we're so busy taking care of everybody else. So I thought, if you say, oh, go read a book for an hour. I could never do that. Okay, but maybe you could just take 10 minutes in the shower, in a hot shower, just quiet with some nice music on. If you can't do the whole bath thing, just, or maybe you take just 5 minutes in the backyard getting some sun and just getting that good vitamin D in. And so maybe if you start in small chunks, it just will evolve to make us all take care of ourselves a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to start to. I'm going to try it.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that very much.
Thanks.
On the way in, I had my Louise Hay Power Thought cards. These are my Louise Hay Power Thought cards. Because I was feeling I was having a little bit difficult time this morning after hearing the news about my sister-in-law, and just kind of like she's improved a little, but not a lot. And so I went for one and I got 3, so I thought I would share them with you. My life works perfectly, and I have to say, once I got this card, I just smiled. I felt better already.
Good.
So I felt inspired that life, I'm like, yeah, my life is beautiful. Kim, get back in there. Get back online there. Get back on course. And it says on the back, everything in my life works now and forevermore. And that is so true. I've been very fortunate, but I also use the law of attraction to attract those inspirational, positive thoughts. So why don't I wanted to just share that with people in case you do have these cards. You can pull them out and get them, but you can also go on the Caregiver. You can go onto the Caregiver Hour. You can go on to louisehay.com and purchase these cards. These are great. These are you can put them in your car and by your office, by your when you wake up in the morning and first thing. So that was something I thought of. But I really want to get to your Inspirational Caregiver Award recipient, Sue. Who is it this month?
Well, this month, our Inspirational Caregiver for December is John Verrill. Yay, congratulations, John.
Congratulations, John.
John has been with Easy Living and Aging Wisely for over 2 years now. This is what his clients had to say. Dad really thinks John is the best. He really appreciates John's faithful and expert help. From the spouse of another longtime client, he's wonderful. We enjoy having him here. He's great with talking to my husband, joking around back and forth.
That's great.
John, and then from his supervisor, Denise, she says, John is one of our most loyal and dedicated caregivers. He's an excellent team player, always helping out when he can. So we're very proud to have John as part of our family.
It's great to have a male caregiver.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's not as prominent as female. So that must have been, that's a really great reflection of Easy Living also, that you've had someone for 2 years who's been engaged and who is such a quality caregiver. So what does John get for those who just tuned in today, maybe for the first time and doesn't know about the award? What does John get?
John gets a Visa gift card, and he can certainly, at this time of year, it's always a nice thing to do. And then he will be featured in our newsletter and featured on our website. So
that's great.
We're excited about that. And again, truly just another example of inspiration. And
it is inspiring because there could be a caregiver who's listening to the show who wants to sign up with a company that does recognize them. So why don't we talk a little about your company, Sue, and then how someone can get in touch with you?
Sure. We have been in business since 2005. We right now have a caregiver staff of a little over 100. I think it's right around 109, 110. So we're excited about that. We are a licensed home care agency as opposed to a nurse registry. So we're completely licensed, bonded, and insured, which is important, of course, to our families and our clients. And we hire home health aides and licensed home health aides and CNAs. And we would love to have people come and work with us if they choose to work for a real quality company.
If you're looking at our website, you can just click right on now. There is a link that we're connected to with Aging Wisely and Easy Living. So you can certainly do that right now and then contact them.
Absolutely.
Or they can call you. So what's the main number?
727-448-0900 or 727-447-5845. Either way will get you to Petros.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. And Petros is a wonderful gentleman, by the way.
He is.
Let's talk about the respite. I know we put this in our December newsletter, and I want to know how are things going? Did anyone call? Do we need to let people know about the respite that you're offering?
We did see it in the newsletter, and then we've featured it in ours as well.
That's great.
We're really, really hoping that people will, as we've talked about, be inspired to call and grab those 3 hours. They're free. It's meant as part of our mission to give back to the community a little bit, hopefully open a door to hiring professional caregivers to give your primary caregiver a little bit of relief, and just try it if you're afraid or you're not sure what to expect from it, and just give it a shot. Whether it's giving yourself some time off to take some respite and get re-inspired, whether it's time to, if you need time to take the house apart after the holidays,
right?
To go out and see some friends,
right?
Just relax, or just have an extra pair of hands to help with a little bit of housekeeping and getting some of those chores done.
That sounds heavenly. That's a really wonderful gift. So again, this is a free gift from Easy Living for a caregiver to come into your home, or if your loved one is in the hospital, or at a nursing home, a facility, wherever they are, they can get that care. And are you, what is the process? They would make this phone call or connect with you online. And then how does that work? Just so that they're aware.
Yeah. Well, then actually it's me that comes out to the home and tells them a little bit about what to expect.
Okay.
And then depending on the situation, then Bob would come out after me. He's our client care coordinator and safety coordinator. And he comes out and just sort of sets up the care plan so that we know exactly everybody's expectations are online. And then we go ahead and set that shift up and give it a try. So... And the other thing I was going to mention is we have gift certificates at the office as well. So if there's somebody listening that might say, okay, my mom really could use that, but she's not willing to make that call. If you want to give the gift of time, we'd be happy to do that as well.
That sounds perfect. Sue, thank you so much. We'll have you come on at the end of the show, maybe with a little story that you have that can inspire all of us.
Okay, thanks, Kim.
Stay with us because we've got Joy Swisher on, an inspirational caregiver who is she's someone who has a great heart, and we can't wait to learn more about what she does. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
From the Tampa Bay Orthopedic Specialist Studios, 1250 WINS WHNZ, Tampa Bay. Find it anywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Download it now.
Are you an inventor, or do you know an inventor who would like to attempt to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to industry? For free information on how to proceed, phone toll-free, 1-800-315-2807. Invent Help, America's largest invention company, has inventors' information you can have for free. Record your invention's date of origination, plus get an informative brochure and other material of interest to new inventors from the company whose patent referrals have helped secure more than 7,000 patents. Learn how to get this free information by dialing 1-800-315-2807. Even if you only have an idea for improving an existing product and don't know where to go with it, you'll want this free inventor's information.
My dad was in the 4th Infantry Unit when we stormed Normandy. He was our hero. But now he needs help. I mean, my dad is the best man I know. He deserves the best care. I used to call him to make sure he took his medicine every day. I worried about his safety. Now, I can just ask him what he did that day. I can be the daughter again, and he can still be my hero.
Dr. Lang is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutritional specialist who has been helping radio listeners since 1993, and he's ready to answer your questions too. If you are concerned about your vision or if you're looking for nutrition advice, then ask the doctor. Fridays at 11 and Saturdays at 9 on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
If you're looking to buy a new car, you can stop worrying about being taken advantage of because there's a new way to buy a car. It's TrueCar.com. At TrueCar.com, you can actually see what others paid for the car that you're looking for in your area, so you know that you're getting a great price. So if you're ready to buy a car, why wouldn't you go to TrueCar.com? Negotiation-free guaranteed savings, a hassle-free experience, and a TrueCar certified dealer that is committed to a new and better way to buy a car. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Visit TrueCar.com today.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, the interstates are okay, but we do have a problem in Tampa, an accident at Pierce Street and Cass Street. In Pinellas County, there's still a wreck southbound on Keene, north of Nursery Road, blocking a travel lane, and an accident in St. Pete at 18th Avenue South and 16th Street. And crews are working on a control box at Seminole Boulevard and 110th Avenue North. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abramson and Udowick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 70s. And we'll see clouds for the most part, some sunshine here and there throughout the day. Pretty much cloud cover blanketing us right now. Mid-50s for the low tonight. Small chance of rain for tomorrow on New Year's Eve with highs only in the upper 60s, near 70. Then another chilly overnight, mid-upper 50s for the festivities tomorrow night. Wall Street today, Dow is up 18, NASDAQ down 4. The S&P index off by a fraction, down to 16,496. 1250 wins, WHNZ.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. We were so excited that we were able to play Aging Wisely and Easy Living's 30-second spot during our break here today. So we want to thank Sue and her team for allowing us to do that for you. We've got a wonderful woman in the house today, and this is Joy Swisher, owner at Intentional Threads. And Joy, I want to welcome you to the Caregiver Hour radio show.
Thank you. It's my honor to be back.
Yeah, it is wonderful. So tell us what inspires you.
What inspires me?
You inspire a lot of people. You spoke at the Better Living for Seniors Consortium a few months ago, and I know that you talked about laughter and humor, and it was all about being inspired, right?
It was a lot about being grateful.
Being grateful.
And expressing your gratitude.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, that's what it was. I get you mixed up with all the other wonderful things that you do, because I know you do the clowning as well.
I do. I actually clowned in December. I got the honor of clowning for a resident's 102nd birthday.
How wonderful.
She asked me back because I did it last year for her 101st.
I want Joy back. I don't blame her. Well, so what do you focus on for the new year? Like, what goes on for you?
2013 was a year of change.
Yes.
So 2014 is going to be embracing that change and welcoming the abundance that follows with it.
Sounds wonderful.
A year of teaching.
And learning, I would think.
Learning
lessons.
And being creative.
Yes. So let's talk about your creation.
Okay.
Your creativity. You were at one of our abundance workshops last year with Dee Woolridge at Easy Living. It was wonderful. And then I saw you come with these beautiful wall hangings, these inspirational wall hangings. So I'm going to show them. I'm going to stand up. For those of you who are watching us live web stream, you can see that. But if you're just listening to us on the radio, and you can go to the website later on and see the archive show today, you will be thrilled. So this one that I'm showing is Create.
It is, and they're quilted. And they each have a different meaning. I want people who receive them to utilize them to help create and maintain their own sacred space. There's pockets along the bottom, and in the pockets are a place for you to put your notes of intention, as we're going into the new year, what you want to bring into this new year. Also, your notes of gratitude, maybe prayer requests or crystals, whatever it is that helps you connect with your sacred space.
Okay, and we are going to talk about sacred space because you brought that up, and I love that that concept, because that was another thing that we brought to the abundance workshops was a sacred space. But even just the card that I pulled today from the Power Thoughts from Louise Hay, that's something that I could just put right in the pocket and be looking at that all day long.
Absolutely. And if you draw one from your deck, and you can put it in just to remind you that day until it's time to draw another.
Yes. So I think that would be wonderful. But I love the idea of putting a crystal in there. So why don't we talk a little about sacred space? Like, what does that mean to you?
You know, I teach a meditation class called Silent Contemplation, and people think of meditation and I can't devote 20 minutes to it. But once you learn to do it, even if you do it for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, you can put yourself back into that peaceful place at any time. When you first get into your car, take that breath and just be there. So you're not in the hustle and the bustle of the traffic. You can just be in your own space. So,
well, I love that concept, and I agree with you about taking that breath right before you really start to move in your car, because it really brings an awareness and an ability to kind of be present, seeing how the traffic is flowing. Thank you for someone who stopped to let you go first. Like, it really helps you, and it helps you arrive at your next destination in a much better space. I know I do that coming here every Monday because there's a lot of traffic and people let me through or don't. And I thank you so much, or you did wait. And I do acknowledge people. But the sacred space that I like to talk about is also where I'm sitting. Like, even here at the radio station, I bring objects that make me feel good, that ground me, center me, that inspire me. So I just feel that these beautiful, inspirational wall hangings are a great gift, not just for somebody else, but also for yourself. Like, what about this cute one? Let's talk about this cute one.
These are the yoga frogs.
Yoga frogs.
And it's always nice. You know, people think of sacred space as being solemn, but there is so much sacred within humor and within play. And we forget that in order to take care of ourselves holistically, we have to take care of all of ourselves.
Yes.
And that includes play.
Yes.
So, and exercise.
And exercise. So I just want to show a few of these fabulous
a tree frog.
A tree frog. I love that one. And what about this one? We talked about, this one. This is so cute.
This is downward facing frog.
I love it. I just think that's great. So again, if these are for sale, right, Joy?
They are.
Okay, because these are your creations.
They are. And I started doing them in June. And I have had so much fun making them and have been a little surprised. I thought people would be using them personally. I'm actually selling a lot to healthcare professionals who are putting them in for their staff to remind professional caregivers as well to take care of themselves.
As we look to Sue. From Aging Wisely and Easy Living.
Well, you know, I'm going to jump in real quick, Joy, and let you know. Kim spoke at the social work conference back in July,
yes,
I think it was,
August.
And brought your wall hangings with her for as part of her thank you, gratitude sort of gifts. And I somehow came back with 2 of them.
Oh.
And so I thought, well, this is really kind of nice, a little abundant, speaking of abundance. But my daughter was home, and so she said, what is this? So I explained to her, and so I let her pick out of the 2 crystals that I had. I let her pick one, and she took hers back to college with her and has it hanging over her desk.
Neat.
So one of your hangings is sitting at Rollins College in the AOPI sorority house, which I just think is kind of neat. And she said people ask her about it, and she's able to tell them, you know, she's got a little cross in there, and she's got her crystal in there, and she's got something of her dad's in there. And so
that's nice.
Just kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know, her dad's passed, so she's just, and then because I gave it to her, so she's got kind of that neat little space.
The whole package.
She does. So thank you for blessing her with that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And obviously it fell in my bag for a reason.
Those were, I asked you to create these pockets. They were actually pockets, Sacred Spaces pockets for everyone. Let's show this size again, because maybe you could talk about the pricing, Joy. Look at this gorgeous one.
Okay, and this one says imagine, because whatever we can imagine, what we can think, our thoughts become our actions. They become our words. They become our reality. So this is to remind us to imagine the positive and to incorporate that positive in our lives.
Especially for people who feel stuck. You know, the idea of imagine is just beautiful. So I think that's a wonderful idea. So can you tell us, I'm going to bring them back again, the different sizes. Do you have the pricing?
I do. The smaller create that you have in the front, and each one of them are done individually, so there's no two alike depending on the fabric.
How lucky.
That one runs $25, and the next one is $35, and the larger one is $45.
Wow. So wonderful. What a beautiful gift you can give yourself. In fact, if there is a caregiver out there who would like one of these, I'd be happy to buy one for you to inspire you for this year, 2014. All you need to do is go to the caregiverhour.com website and contact me. And you can always email me at kim@thecaregiverhour.com and just say, Kim, can you buy this one for me? And I will buy one for you. It would be my pleasure. Really. It's the gift of giving. So these are gorgeous. And Joy, how do they get in touch with you if they would like to maybe come and see them and pick them out themselves? And we do have professional caregivers who do listen, so they may be really thrilled.
Oh, absolutely. And I have sold them for people to use in their own home as well.
Right.
It was just, that was the little perk
Terrific.
that surprised me that I wasn't expecting. I can be reached at Joy Swisher, JoySwisher, @Verizon.net. And my number is 727-254-3515.
Beautiful. Did you want to say something else?
Actually, I will be having them. I am doing a presentation on Reiki and healing at the Aging Well Center at the Long Center on Belcher. That will be Thursday, January 23rd at 2:30 in the afternoon. And I will bring some of these with me. I've been invited just to display them. I will not be selling them that day.
Okay.
But I will have them there for display if anybody would like to see some of them. And I will be in Gulfport doing their Saturday walks, or their first Fridays.
And what
them as
happens
well.
then? Oh, you're going to be showing
It's
them
an
as
art
well?
walk.
Oh, okay, good.
It's an art walk.
So you're setting up shop. This is great.
I am, and I'm going to be at Universal Harmony Church for their fair on Saturday, January the 18th, and that's from 10 to 4, so I will be displaying them there as well.
Well, I just got asked to speak for a caregiver conference that I will speak to you about later, but that would be great to have you at our table and have your stuff there. So there's a few things for us maybe to do together.
I think so.
Wouldn't that be fun? And then I want to go on your sailboat this year. That's one of my inspirations. That's one of my... Can I, Miss Joy?
Absolutely. Actually, that's my inspiration.
Is it?
Being out on the water, and when you're sailing along and you can take part in the nature, the dolphins and everything. So, as you said, the beach.
Yes, the beach. So we want you to stay with us because we've got more coming up. And I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
If you or a loved one experience bladder control problems, here's important news.
For more than 5 years now, the nice ladies at the Caregiver Partnership have taken the time to understand my needs, suggest the best choices of bladder control products for me, and always get the right product delivered to my door fast and with free shipping.
To get started, simply call 800-985-1353 for your free catalog and $60 in coupons. Many people just like you trust the Caregiver Partnership for convenient home delivery of bladder control products, and they have more than 500 to choose from. Call now. The call is free, shipping is free, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
The Caregiver Partnership treats me like family and really knows their stuff, and they keep my business private.
Call 1-800-985-1353 now to receive your free catalog with $60 in coupons. That's 1-800-985-1353. Call now. The voice in the preceding advertisement is not the voice of an actual customer.
We all know that life can change quickly, and when an elderly loved one suddenly needs in-home care, there's one trusted name you can count on at a moment's notice: Senior Helpers. Senior Helpers is a national leader in professional in-home senior care. They specialize in companionship, personal care, and even dementia care using their unique Senior GEMS approach. Find out how they can help you today. Call them at 727-210-1414. Senior Helpers, comfort and care at a moment's notice.
Enjoy life at the Barrington, Largo's premier senior community. The Barrington, the resort lifestyle you deserve at a price you can afford. Life at the Barrington is truly senior living at ease, complete with chef-prepared meals, an activities director, and transportation to your favorite spots. Independent and assisted living homes are available now by calling the Barrington at 727-217-5681. Call the Barrington at 727-217-5681 to schedule your tour of their pet-friendly senior community today.
Hi, it's Kim Linder from the Caregiver Hour. I want to tell you about an attorney in Clearwater that I have known for over 7 years. His name is Bill Rambaum, and I have referred many families to him for his legal expertise. Bill is one of less than 100 attorneys to be evaluated by the Florida Bar and become certified as a specialist in elder law. His 30 years of experience and impeccable credentials make him one of the most highly regarded legal experts in our area. Give Bill a call today at 727-781-5357 or visit rambaumlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Family caregivers, it's new and just for you. The Caregivers Resource Helpline, a free service brought to you by the Caregiver Hour radio show. If you've got questions about anything related to caregiving, you can call the helpline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Speak directly to dozens of caregiving experts on topics like what to do about caregiver burnout, how to best protect your family's assets, when to keep your loved one at home, or get assistance with a managed care facility, and much, much more. You can even speak to a caregiver coach. Call the Caregiver Resource Helpline today at 1-877-552-4950 to help you take the stress out of caregiving. The Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone. I feel inspired to stand up now, so I'm going to just remain standing. And during the break, Sue and Joy and I, we all picked a new card from our Power Thoughts, and this is really great. Again, these Louise Hay affirmation cards. So, Joy, what did you get?
I have the perfect living space. I see myself living in a wonderful place. It fulfills all my needs and desires. It's a beautiful location and at a price I can afford.
So does that make sense for you?
Oh, it absolutely does. That's what I've been doing the last year is downsizing and cleaning out.
Wow, that's great.
So to create my own sacred space.
Right.
Perfect.
Sounds terrific. Sue?
Mine is I am open and receptive to new avenues of income.
Yes. Okay.
I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. I am an unlimited being, accepting from an unlimited source in an unlimited way, and I am blessed beyond my fondest dreams.
How does that feel to you?
Well, that feels wonderful. It feels wonderful. It's a funny thing. My girls are now both out of the house.
Yes.
And I think everybody's been gone for about 6 months now. I think it's probably been the most expensive 6 months of the 20 years that I've had them.
Interesting.
So yeah, any new avenues will be.
Yeah, right. Much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
Well, that's great. I hope some avenues do open up for you.
I do too. That'll be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. That would inspire me.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, this will inspire me to figure out what those avenues are going to be.
Yes.
Spend that time.
Yes. And then when you have your flag, your inspirational wall hanging, that could go right in there and remind you that you're attracting that.
Mm-hmm.
I had one. I balance my masculine and feminine sides. Mm-hmm. And the masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I'm at peace and all is well. And I really love that because being a caregiver, we need to juggle that very often. And so I'm just so very, very grateful that I have both and that I try very hard to keep them balanced. And like Joy was saying, I do that meditation wherever I can for as long as I can. So I don't put that pressure on myself that it has to be a perfect amount of time.
That was such a perfect, just even talking about getting started, like you said, if you can't commit to that full 20 minutes, commit to 5 or 10.
Yes.
And just, center yourself down and make the time to do it.
And when you take the breath, you can put yourself back in that space. It doesn't, if you're going to have, or in your caregiving, you're caring for a difficult situation.
Yes.
Before you enter into that space of the situation, take that breath and center yourself, because you are able to take care of it better.
Yeah, I agree, because my husband, it's his sister, so he's the one who's really going through a lot. And I try to be a little more steady and grounded for him, because otherwise we could just be bumping into each other, and I'd rather not. I'd rather him feel all that support and nurturing, so from all of us. So please, more prayers. Her name is Andrea. If anyone can say a prayer for Andrea today and her family, Bill, and she takes care of grandchildren 24/7. So now Bill has to do all of that, but there is some family there, and so if you could do that, we would greatly appreciate it as you do your meditations today. So Sue, is there anything happening for you starting off this new year of 2014 that you want to share with us?
Nothing out of the ordinary, just getting ready to get started and looking forward to what's coming ahead. And I know we talked before about my bucket list.
Yes, I like your bucket list.
My helicopter ride and my hot air balloon.
Yeah, they inspire me.
Yeah. So I think travel is what's next. So I'm going to hopefully make a couple of trips this year. So.
Well, we
Looking
hope you
forward
get
to
to
that.
them and then come and share them with us.
I will.
You could blog.
Yeah, there you go. Find my
Picture-
island.
Right. Picture wherever you are and then just kind of blog and let us know how you're doing with your bucket list. That'll be great. And Joy, what about you? What holds 2014 for you?
As far as inspirational, I plan on doing more sailing this year. We are getting our boat ready again.
Good.
We were doing that 7 years ago, and everything just kind of stopped right there.
Yeah.
So we're working on it again, and we're looking forward to doing some cruising.
Okay, good. So tell us a little more about these inspirational wall hangings. Like I remember you talking to me about how you used to sew and then you didn't do it for a long time, and now you have that time to do it. So tell us about that, because there could be someone out there who could relate to having something that they used to do, had to stop, and now they want to go back. Talk about that, please.
Actually, I had my own business for 25 years called Jumping for Joy. And when I started at hospice, I quit doing that. And it was a wonderful journey for 17 years being with them. When I left, I took a couple of months just to myself, just to regroup. And I came up with the idea and started making them. And the more I made, the more I realized it was the creativity that was missing in my life. And that's what I needed. And it also connects me with my grandmother, who was a professional seamstress. And when I was young, when I was 12, we used to quilt together. And it's that companionship of doing something with someone else. So when you do any sort of a craft or a work together, artwork, for instance, even baking with someone else, then you start talking because you're busy. The words flow out of your mouth, and all of a sudden you're sharing things that you may not share, and it deepens a relationship. Speaking of meditation, actually being creative and making these is a meditative time for me, because I don't think of anything else but exactly what I'm doing, and it makes the rest of the world kind of fall to the wayside during that moment. And we all need those times.
Yes, we do, to recharge ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And our spirits. So this year is going to be very interesting for me as well. I want to really let you know that we are going to be on the Caregiver Hour radio show every Monday from 11 a.m. till noon Eastern Standard Time. But now we have some great news that we will also be airing on Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. So they're going to take this show and then play it again. So all that information and inspiration will just be carrying throughout the whole week. And we've got a great team who does a lot of social media for us, the Go Agency, and they also help promote it throughout the week as well. Because what we do is we take nuggets from this show and we add it to our website with the live web stream so people can see a little information before they decide if this is the show they want to listen to. And then we promote that throughout the week. So we're very excited about that. We've got a beautiful website. Very, it's like watching TV. It's really and a movie. It's just beautiful. It's very, it has a lot of impact for it, and it has a lot of great information. So we're very excited. Again, our new name is Caregiver Resource Network, and I'm looking at the website, and it looks beautiful. And we are continuing with the helpline. There's so many people who use the helpline, the Caregiver Resource Helpline. It's on our website, but they also can call us toll-free at 1-877-552-4950 with any kind of question or sense of urgency. We do not do like a hotline, like if there's a real concern, you need to be calling 911. But we are that resource for you, that connector, and certainly that support. And I do thank all those caregivers who use that helpline to help themselves. So as we close, I really want to remember someone who passed away this year. And that is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela really has been inspirational for me. And I had a picture of him, and now I'm not sure where it went. Oh, here it is. It was in People magazine. I want to use this. It was People magazine. What a beautiful picture of this man, of this leader. He just inspired so many people to, maybe live a more peaceful life. And for caregivers, it can be very stressful, and there could be relationships that come up that make it very challenging. And he just really was able to take a very difficult, challenging position that happened in his life because he spoke his truth. He had a vision, but yet he had to really make some changes, and it humbled him. And he also says one of his fears as a public figure, he said, is to be raised to the position of a semi-god, because then you are no longer a human being. So we want you to remain as a human being, and I want to remain as a human being, and all my guests here today. I thank you, Sue, so much for all your love and support from Aging Wisely and Easy Living, for you and your whole team. And Joy, it was just a joy to have you here today.
Thank you.
I remember the first time I met you. I loved you, and I was like, how do I become friends with her? And now we are. I'm so thrilled. Have a great week and be inspired. Do something that inspires you, and stay connected. I'm Kim Linder, your host of the Caregiver Hour on Free Monday from 11 a.m. till noon on 1250 WINS WHNZ.